helping out as much as I can. I've got to leave after this one because I'm teaching an adult class at Eckerd. So, but I'll be here all weekend.
This is my last one.
Ah,
Retiring April 7th.
oh, congratulations. Yeah, we're going to start a little earlier with Coach Claxton. I think it's fine. Yeah.
First Final Four was in Miami in 1980, so I figured this Final Four in Indianapolis 46 years later would be the perfect.
Well, good for you, man. Congratulations.
Thanks.
You just want to take head questions, or do you have something you'd like to?
Questions.
Okay.
Will be fine.
Okay, let's start questions for Coach Claxton.
Speedy, I've got to start with the shirt. The quote on the shirt. Where'd you get the idea for it?
Well, speaks for itself. We've had a ton of great guards here, starting with myself, to DeJoy Bowie, Justin Ray Foreman, Aaron Estrada, Tyler Thomas. These two guys that I have now, and Preston and Cruz, Charles Jenkins. Hofstra has always been a place that, we've raised good guards. I'm the one who kind of started that, so I'm the godfather.
Hey, Mark Cannizzaro from the New York Post. I'm just speaking of the guards. What do you make of the matchup between your guys and Philon, for Alabama? And how good is he? What makes him so good?
Oh, he's a great player. He can score at 3 levels. He's an NBA player. We're definitely going to have our hands full. But I feel like I have good guards myself. So I think it's going to be a really good game. I think it's going to be great guard play from both sides.
Coach, when you're playing against an Alabama team that's so high tempo, how has the scout kind of gone? How are you preparing your guys? Is anything being done differently to kind of counter their offense?
Well, we're kind of going to steal the same game plan that we have against William Mary. They play a similar style, tempo. So we just told our guys, think of William Mary on steroids. More athletic, bigger, faster, stronger. So it's not like we're not used to seeing this play style. Definitely going to try to control tempo. I think that's going to be a big key to the game.
Hey, Speedy, Tom Rock from Newsday. Can you tell us a little bit about when you first started to think about coaching and how you got into this business?
Yeah, it was pretty much my last year that I was playing. I was with Golden State Warriors. Don Nelson was the coach at the time. And one day after practice, he pulled me to the side, and he asked me if I ever thought about coaching. And up until that point, I hadn't. And I said, nah, not really. And he was like, you should think about it. I think you'll make a hell of a coach. And that's what prompted the idea. And I was like, well, here I have a Hall of Fame coach telling me that I should think about coaching. So I was like, all right, well, let me start thinking about coaching. And then when Coach Mihaly got the job at Hofstra, I went to him and, the AD, Jeff Hathaway at the time, and I asked to be a part of the program.
Did you know what you were getting into?
I did not. And I'm not going to lie, my first years, it was kind of rough. It's different. Going from being a player to being a coach and being in the office from 9 to 6, 7 o'clock, it was a change in lifestyle for me. But once I got used to it, I loved it.
Coach, this season's had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of ups. What's the biggest area of growth you've seen in your team from the start to where we are right now?
I would say confidence. As the season, going along, my kids' confidence has grown after each and every game. Whether we win or lose, they believe they should have won if we lost, and then if we won, they're excited. So I would say confidence. These kids, they truly believe whoever's in front of us, we can win the game.
Speedy, I know one of your messages to all the guys is to not look at this as anything bigger than it is. How do you impress upon them? Obviously you've played at all the levels and gone through this before.
A bigger role if Holloway doesn't play. But we're going to prepare as if Holloway's playing. And then if, we get news that he's not going to play, then we'll adjust.
I'm a Crimson Tide on his side. Nate Oates had some high praise for you earlier in the week, and he was talking about the interactions you guys had while he was pursuing Aaron Estrada.
Yeah.
Walk us through some of those conversations, and also just what you've seen out of Nate as far as a program builder and the job he's done.
Yeah, I have great respect for Nate. He comes from the mid-major ranks. He was at Buffalo, had great success. So I know he's not going to overlook us because he had success when he was at Buffalo, being in Arizona, I believe. So truly respect what he's done at Alabama. He's done an unbelievable job there. So definitely looking forward to matching up against him.
Dylan Brett, 88.7 FM WRHU. Was it a surprise when you saw Coach Mahalik on the trip with you guys, and what's having him back kind of been like?
It's everything having, one of my biggest culture mentors here for me in this moment. Coach Mahalik is the one who kind of taught me the college game and see basketball through a coaching lens. So I'm happy to share this moment with him.
Of your two starting guards, what characteristic for each do you like the most between Preston and Cruz?
I'm gonna say with Preston, just how competitive he is, and his confidence. Like, that kid is well beyond his years. The things that he's doing right now as a freshman is truly remarkable. And I don't even think he understands fully what he's doing right now. And then with Cruz, it's just his approach, man. He had a chance to leave us after last season and go out in the transfer portal and make a significant amount of money. But to his credit, he wanted to stay and get better. And I'm just thankful that, he's seeing the fruits of his labor come true, because hard work truly pays off.
With the Hofstra Chronicle and WRHU. Coach, you were robbed of this experience in 2020. What has it been like, this whole experience leading up to tomorrow?
It's been a whirlwind. Like you said, our experience kind of got cut short during that COVID year. So to finally, being here in front of you guys and being in Tampa and hopefully being able to play, because I'm still, still got to, But it's just been great just to go through the whole experience, the whole week. Going out to restaurants, receiving standing ovations, getting texts, DMs, emails from family, friends, even people that I don't know that's wishing us well. Like, it's been truly an amazing week for me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Speedy Tom Brew, Roundtable Sports. Talked to a lot of high major coaches these last 3 or 4 years about the ever-changing way college basketball is with the NIL and transfer portal and that. I was wondering if you could just kind of touch on what the biggest challenges are for you at your school in regards to dealing with all of that every year.
I mean, obviously, it's keeping my good young players. Yes, it's a forever changing landscape, but the biggest thing for myself and my program is, being able to keep a Cruz Davis, hopefully being able to keep Preston Edmeade. But we have a great culture here, and our guys, they truly love being here, and that's the only reason Cruz stayed last year. He passed up a lot of money to be here.
Coach, obviously Syracuse and Pitt didn't quite have the best seasons this year, but when you look at your bigs and the experience they got playing against those high major teams, how do you think that carries over into this kind of matchup with Alabama?
Yeah, I'm not worried about my bigs at all, because honestly, I believe we have bigs that are more suited to go up against high majors than mid majors. When we play against a mid major team that plays with smaller five, that's when we struggle as a team, and that's when my bigs struggle guarding. So going up against a high major team, I like my big chances against those guys better, quite honestly.
Any other questions? Yep.
Calvin Willie, 88.7 FM Radio, Hofstra University. Speedy, just kind of going back to what it means, there are a few coaches that get to coach for the school they played for, and now you've delivered a conference championship as a player and a coach. Is there any extra meaning behind that for you? It's
always extra meaning for me. We're talking about legacy right now. Obviously, like you said, I've won here as a player, now as a coach, so it means so much more to me. House is a very special place, always will be a special place. But I just want to thank, President Poser, Rick Cole for giving me the opportunity to come back and lead this program. I keep saying, House is a very special place because of the people that's involved at Hofstra. And it starts at the top with President Poser and just trickles all down. Everybody falls in line after that.
Coach, going back to elaborating on the bigs, Alabama's a team that struggled on the boards a lot. You guys have had some success with offensive rebounds. How do you evaluate that matchup? And then also with Alabama, Aiden Sherrill, guys, had some big moments. What have you seen out of him?
Yeah, that's what we do. We really try to attack the glass on the offensive side of things. We know they're bigger than us, obviously, but we're not going to change our style of play. We're going to go there and try to get, extra possessions. It's not going to be a check-the-box type of day for us. We're truly going to go out there and try to pursue the basketball. Sherrill's he's a big-time athlete, but, we're going to go after him.
Any other questions? Coach, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Alabama's student athletes will be here at 12:35.
All right, we got Alabama student athletes, Latrell Reitzel, Houston Mullet, and LeBaron Philon. We'll take questions for the student athletes. Raise your hand. Go ahead, Jeff.
Jeff Dubroff with WFLA here in Tampa. LeBaron, for you, just your progression into your sophomore year, what has been the biggest leap for you? What do you attribute to getting that, and how much pride do you take in leading this team into the NCAA tournament this year?
I would say, it means everything, just coming back for a second year, playing with these two guys, it's been a wonderful feeling. I mean, we got, I think, one of the best teams in the country, and I'm ready to make a run. I would say, just playing with these guys and playing with my other teammates has been just a grateful, feeling and thing to do all season long. And, I'm looking to, like I said, make a run and just, lead these guys, to as far as we can. But I think these two guys do a great job at leading, help me lead as well. So, just thankful that I get to, share the court with these guys.
Yeah, LeBaron, Kevin Sweeney, Sports Illustrated. I guess, where do you feel like you've grown the most from this time last year when you were debating going to the NBA and eventually end up coming back? I guess, where do you feel like your game has progressed the most and made you more NBA ready over the last 365 days?
I would just say the experience, knowing what it takes to win a game. Hofstra, a great team. We can't, overlook them. They got great guards. They got two of the, best guards in their conference, and I think those guys do a great job of getting in the paint and, and stuff like that. But just focus on what we got to focus on and keeping the main thing. I think, everybody's locked in and we're ready to go. And, tomorrow is going to be a great feeling for all the young guys that, haven't experienced the NCAA tournament yet. And, it's the biggest, thing on the planet when it comes to college basketball. So everybody going to be watching. So we just, ready to get out there and ready to play.
I guess for any of the three of you guys up there, what did you take away from the SEC tournament and kind of the lessons that you learned as you get into these first and second round games here?
Let's go left to right. Go ahead, Latrell.
I would probably say just our readiness to start the games. You know, we've been talking about that for a little minute, but you know, with a sense of urgency that we play with, and if we play with it, we're one of the best teams in the country. If we don't bring it every night, then you can have a toss-up with us and we can lose games like that. But if we come out with a sense of urgency and play to our strengths and play defense and actually guard and communicate and actually move the ball, then I feel like we can play with anybody, and just a sense of urgency to start the game, because when we do that, we always have a great success at the end.
Yeah, to kind of piggyback off that, I would agree with Trelly on what he said, just our sense of urgency to be ready to go from the start. I think we struggled with in that game. I don't think we really got going until about 12 or so minutes left when we were down 13, and by that time, like, it's hard to make a run like that. But I think we had a great week of practice. Like, our practice days this week, I mean, we got after it. We played really hard, and I just think our preparation going into it, you know, just being the most prepared team and being ready to go out there and play. So.
LeBaron, go ahead. You want to answer that one too?
You know, just, you know, I would reflect on that, you know, Ole Miss game in the tournament. You know, it was a great feeling just to be able to play in that game, you know, have a great enough seeding, you know, to where we got the buys and stuff like that. But I would say, you know, just to pick up what Houston said, you know, I think we wasn't, you know, ready. But, you know, like he said, we had a great week of practice. You know, we went at each other. Coach Oates, you know, designed the practices to be a little more player versus player. And, you know, we just got after it. And I think, you know, once you do that late in the season, it's really just like iron sharpen iron time, and everybody's getting ready to put on their best performances. So, you know, we just ready to see what our guys, you know, have, you know, left in the tank to just, like, you know, pour it all in for this last run. So that's a great thing to see.
Brian Passing, Crimson Tide Sports Network. This is for Houston and Latrell. Both of you guys didn't play in the NCAA tournament last year because of injury. This is it for both of you guys from an eligibility standpoint. You're both seniors. What are your emotions like because of what you dealt with last year, this being it, going into the NCAA tournament?
I'm pretty excited about it. I know that I didn't get to play last year, but I actually got to play in the year before. And to experience what I did in that year, to make a Final Four run, like, obviously I don't want to not stop there. I want to go there and actually win the whole thing. So it's just a surreal moment. It's a blessing to be able to play again and just be out here with my brothers. Like Barron said, we go to war every day, and to obviously reap our rewards and reap our harvest from what we've done in this whole season is going to be really fun to actually see it play out in this March Madness run. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm incredibly grateful. I think, like, obviously all three of us, you dream of this as a kid. Like, I remember watching March Madness, like, growing up, and, you know, the Luther Vandross, like, the song, all of it. Like, it's an incredible experience. Last year was a ton of fun, but this year, like, obviously I'll be playing it at Trelly. We'll both be playing in it, and I don't know, man, I'm just grateful. Like, we have a verse, Galatians 6:9, therefore do not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time you reap a harvest if you don't give up. And that's kind of been our mantra this whole year. This team's handled, like, a lot of adversity with injuries. I mean, we've had 13 different starting lineups throughout the year, so I think we're well equipped to make a run here, and I'm just incredibly grateful and incredibly excited to go out there and play. Like, you dream of it as a kid, like, and it's kind of surreal to be in this position.
To you, LeBaron.
You know, like they said, you know, just dreaming as a kid, you know, you watch all the games and you see all the stuff that's happening, you know, all the crazy buzzer beaters. Like, March is not, you know, it's just different when it comes to basketball. And, you know, just to be able to put on that crimson jersey is just like, it means everything to me to, you know, wear the A on my, you know, chest every day, you know, every game. So just, you know, taking that as a surreal feeling and just, like, taking it in as a real moment, like, it means everything.
Matt Baker with The Athletic. For Houston and Latrell, what are your just kind of general impressions of Hofstra after watching them on film?
I believe they're really talented. They have really good guards. I played with one of their guards, Aaron Estrada, And that year we went to the Final Four, so I just know like they always produce really good guards and stuff like that. So just having to focus in on their play style, they score really well, they're coached really well, they play really hard. I think they've won like the last 11 out of their last 12 games, so they're really on a heater right now. We have to we respect them with the utmost respect because we know that their guards can play in this league as well. Obviously, they've done it with one guy, and he's made history at this program. So just respect them and obviously give them a ton of credit for what they've done and what they've won.
Yeah, all the respect in the world to this, to Hofstra and their program. Like Trell said, they've won 11 of their last 12. Their guards are really dynamic, and they have guys that kind of fill in those spots really well around them. They're really well equipped. I think, it's just an incredible experience. Obviously, I think we have really good guards as well, and we're excited to go out there and compete with them. But yeah, preparation's big. Like, we know how it gets in March. We know, teams go on runs during this time. But yeah, like Aaron's practiced with us before, like over the summer and whatnot, and he's one of the most talented guys I've seen play. So I know what these guys are bringing. So we're just excited to go out there and compete.
Hi, Rick Stroud with the Tampa Big Times. You mentioned you've overcome adversity.
We just gotta, mix it up a little bit, and I'm pretty sure Coach Oates, have everything ready. He's been ready to, play ever since we got here. Tampa's a great city, so just like being here and like practicing as, just like it's been going up and down a little bit, having a little fun. So just being ready for tomorrow, it's gonna be a fast-paced game for us.
Yeah, I think our team's really well equipped to handle adversity. Like, we started league off pretty slow. I think we started 4-4, and we went on a run to finish off league. Like I said earlier, we've had 13 different starting lineups. We've seen guys step up. I think Taylor Bowen has been playing like his best basketball recently. Obviously, the addition of like Noah Williamson, he played a lot of minutes against Ole Miss, and he was incredible. So I think we have multiple guys equipped to step up. Jaleel Bethea, he's special. Like, the way he's kind of handled adversity throughout this year. He was hurt to start the year for like the first pretty much half of the year. He was out with injury, and his approach in practice every day, like he's gotten a whole lot better, and he makes us better. And I think a guy like that is primed for a huge March Madness run as well. I think our team, like, we all love each other. Like, there's real genuine love here. Like, selfless love is one of our core values, and we're just excited for each other. The word Mudita comes up as well. Coach Murphy from softball came and talked to us about that word right after we had lost to Florida. And it's just like having vicarious joy for your teammates. I have vicarious joy for Barron. And when Barron scores 20, it feels like I scored 20. When Trelly hits 8 threes, it feels like I hit 8 threes. And that's kind of the mentality our team has. And I'm just excited for it to take off here soon.
Well, Barron, Cruz Davis has had some big-time performances this year, especially against, a couple ACC teams he's played. What have you seen from him this week, scout-wise, and how do you embrace? Obviously, you've played in so many big-time guard matchups, but what does this one mean?
It's a big matchup. I look at every matchup as a big matchup, and we can't just like go out there and just like doubt these guys. He's a great guard, and the other guard he has is a great guard too. So we have to be ready for both of them. They take most of the shots on their team, so just being able to just key in on those guys and just like control those guys in the pace of the game.
Got time for one more. Any other questions for student athletes? Go ahead. Right there, Lynn.
Houston, we just talked to Speedy Claxton, and he talked about his team's rebounding and how he thinks they're better equipped to get boards and just play inside against a team like Alabama. Obviously, I know you have a pretty strong knowledge of the game. What have you seen from the way that team attacks the glass this week, just watching their stuff?
Yeah, they attack the glass pretty hard. I think their 2 forwards, center, they had like 11 offensive rebounds in their last game. They're big. They're well equipped to do that. I think we've prepared really well this week. I think our mindset is, for Trell and I, it could be like our last time playing basketball in college, and we just want to give everything we have. We want to empty the tank, and I mean, I think we've seen here late, like, guys step up. Like, Taylor Bobon has really stepped up. You should see the way he practices. Noah Williamson has really stepped up. You should see the way he practices. Same with Jaleel. Like, we have a team fully equipped, you know, to handle the rebounding. And, you know, we're just excited to get out there tomorrow and play.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. All right, we have Alabama head coach Nate Oates. Thank you, Coach. And we'll take questions.
Nate, obviously you addressed the Aiden situation on the radio, but if he goes back next week and gets his student conduct appeal won, is there a chance we see him later in the tournament?
You know what? I'm not sure where that's all going to go, and we'll kind of address things as they come up. But for right now, the team's just preparing to play with who's at practice, and he's obviously not there. So we'll prepare to play without him and address that matter if it comes up.
Chase Goodrow with the Tuscaloosa News. You kind of dovetailed into my question. How has practice gone without Aiden? Can you just discuss some of the adjustments you've had to make or how they've looked?
Yeah, I'll say this. As good as Aiden is for us, and he's been great for us. You know, he's shot the ball well and done a lot of things. We were best equipped to lose somebody in the backcourt more than anywhere else with this team. So, again, you've got Reitzel, who's playing the best basketball of his career. He was SEC Player of the Week, I think, second to last week of the season. Philon's obviously good and getting as healthy as he can be. Houston Millette's playing well. Amari Allen's playing well. And like Houston was just talking about, I think Taylor and Noah are playing as good as they've played all year. So now you've got a little bit more where you don't have to play Amari down in the front court. You can play Amari exclusively in the back court. You know, and Jaleel's done a great job prepping, keeping his attitude where it needs to be, super talented. So I'm excited to see what some of these guys have. And, you know, we've done a good job in practice, I think, prepping for these, and Hofstra's got two very good guards. I mean, Cruz Davis and Preston Mead are as good a combination of backcourt as any. I mean, they're better than most high major backcourts when you put the two of them together. So they're, I think we've done a good job, and I think we've still got plenty of depth. That's the good thing with making sure with the way we play, you know, we want to play fast. We usually have pretty good depth. So we had great depth in the backcourt, and I think we've had 13 different starting lineups. And reason being mainly injuries throughout the course of the year. So whether it's the guy's out with an injury or whatever reason he's out for, I think this team is more equipped to handle somebody being out. I mean, we've had more game time decisions, night before decisions than any team I've ever been associated with.
Speedy Claxton just sat up there 30 minutes ago and talked about how he thinks his bigs and their offensive rebounding almost translates better against a high major opponent. You look at this Hofstra team, the success they've had inside, the success they've had attacking the glass. What's your evaluation of that been, and what do you guys do to try to limit it?
Yeah, no, they're good. I mean, they've got real size. Sunday is big, shot blocker, rim protector, rebounder. He gives it, you know, and I've been at that level. You know, I was at Buffalo for 6 years, 4 as a head coach, and having legitimate size inside's something that maybe you don't always have at that level. They have it, you know. But Sunday, and then I don't want to pronounce his name wrong. Number 6, Victory Anyatu. Thank you. Just between Sunday and Anyatu, they had 11 boards just between the two of them in their last game they played. So our guys are fully aware. We have had an issue rebounding the ball too many times this year. If we don't make a concerted effort to go to the glass, box out, it's going to be a problem. Because if you keep giving their backcourt multiple chances, I mean, they make tough shots. So you get them to miss one, great, you did a good job on defense. You have to get the rebound. And we want to run. Our depth is still there. Our style of play is that we want to play fast. They're a very slow team that, they're comfortable playing deep into the shot clock. So we'd like to get the pace up. It's hard to get the pace up and run if you don't defensive rebound the basketball. So we really got to make sure we're focused on rebounding the ball.
Hey, Nate, Matt Baker with The Athletic. You touched on Hofstra's guards a minute ago. Could you elaborate, please? What makes them so effective?
So Cruz is a lefty, and now they can both go either way, but Cruz is a lefty and Mead's a righty. I don't know which one you call the one, which one you call the two, but they both can handle it, shoot it, pass it. I mean, I saw a stat in Mead. I mean, he's come on really strong here at the end of the year. He's been good for him all year, but they had stat he's first player in the last 25 years in CAA to do whatever he had done. They can both shoot it, drive it in the paint, and pass it. So if you want to, kind of double one, trap one, blitz one, well, you're leaving the other one playing off a closeout in a rotation. So, if a team has one guard that's great and elite and everybody else plays off him, it's a lot easier to trap in ball screens, double him. Okay, so all of a sudden you want to trap Cruz. Now you're pulling in at Mead's man to help on the roll. Not so sure how smart that is, because now all of a sudden you got to play him on a long closeout, and him attacking a long closeout's an issue. So the fact that they have two of them together makes them both better. The fact that they're both, Aaron Estrada led our team to a Final Four. He was Player of the Year in that conference for Hofstra, and Cruz's numbers are better than what Estrada's numbers were there. So to think that, I'm not saying he's better. I'll let Speedy would be a lot better answer for who is a better player. I'm sure they're different, but they're both lefties, and I had to I was fortunate enough to coach Estrada here for a year, and we went to the Final Four that year. But if you just look at the numbers, Cruz has had a better year. And, man, Estrada played really well at this high major level for the year he's with us. So their guards are good, but we've been to – this is our 6th NCAA tournament in a row. You don't make the NCAA tournament and play a bad team. If they're in the NCAA tournament, they're going to be good. That's why there's not that many teams in the tournament. So they're very good, and we're fully aware of how good their backcourt is, and we're going to have to do a great job one-on-one defense. Our help's going to have to be good, and we're going to have different packages to guard them, because I don't think you can just do one thing against these great guards the entire game.
Yeah, Nate, Kevin Sweeney, SI. On the Aiden front, I know you mentioned earlier in the week that you wanted to support him, obviously, in spite of everything that's happening right now. I guess, can you speak to any contacts you've had with him since maybe the initial moments after the arrest and where that stands? Yeah,
I've met with him in person, talked to him on the phone multiple times. Look, I'm an adult. I've made mistakes. We all have things we'd like to do differently. Now's not the time to ignore a kid that you've built a real relationship with. Now's the time he needs more love from the adults in his life than at any point. So when I got into coaching, way back when I first got out of college, and I was a Division III assistant making no money, and then I went to a high school job in Detroit area for 11 years, I really, to basically coach for no money for 16 years, you better be doing it for the right reasons, because you're losing an awful lot of money, spending all the hours, time traveling with kids to official visits. So I got to remind myself, I'm a high school coach that's caught some breaks up here, but I don't want to lose why I got into this thing in the first place. So you get into it to help impact young men's lives. Well, if you disappear when they make a mistake, not so sure that's a genuine relationship you built. So I've got 3 daughters. They've made mistakes. You don't disappear on them when they need your help. So I won't be disappearing on him. I talked to him yesterday morning on the phone. I talked to him the night before that. I've talked to him every day so far. So I'm going to continue to talk to him, love him, help him through this, and we'll see where it all takes us.
In back of the room.
Charlie Potter with Bama Online. Just what kind of progress have you seen from Jaleel this season, and how much are you going to maybe lean on him a little more with Aiden out?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Aiden playing about 30 minutes. There's 30 minutes to distribute differently in this game. Jaleel's been playing well. The one thing I'll say about Jaleel is he's super talented. He had the broken foot that he missed so many reps in the offseason. I mean, he missed half our offseason. With the way we play, it's a lot different than the way most college teams play, at least. There's a lot to be learned in the offseason with playing fast, making the right reads in the paint reads, at the rim reads, pick and roll reads, closeout reads, all of it that he missed, and he was frustrated as a talented kid like him would naturally be, that he wasn't able to contribute as much as everybody would have liked for him to initially, but I think he's done an unbelievable job keeping his attitude right where it needs to be. I love him. He comes in, plays hard, great teammate. So I really hope, he goes in and plays well. And playing well doesn't necessarily mean just making shots, making highlight plays, which he's more than capable of. But it's being locked into the defensive end, impacting winning. That's the one thing, you got to keep emphasizing these guys that come either out of high school or maybe places where they haven't won at the level we've won, is what can you do to impact winning? And it's not all scoring. That's why we chart as many things as we chart. So I think he's starting to figure that out. And, man, I would love for him to take advantage of this opportunity he's got in front of him and really play well here this weekend.
Hey, Coach. Lance Williams, Orange and Blue Sports Network. How has Amari developed as a player and a person throughout his freshman season?
Where's the Orange and Blue Sports Network from?
The University of Florida.
Oh. Some other orange and blue. Most of them aren't on our highly liked list, but you're not in the state of Alabama on orange and blue. So Amari comes in as a freshman that maybe isn't as highly ranked as some other kids we brought in. We all knew he had a chance to be really good. Like, I loved him. Guard with size, toughness, competitiveness. Man, he came in right away in the summer and established the fact that he's not backing down from anybody, that he's going to compete with everybody. And there was days in the summer he was our best player. And I think you've seen that. He hasn't been elite in every game, but he's competed at an elite level every game. He's fought with some injuries and had to come around, but with his size, skill, athleticism, competitiveness, toughness, IQ, you combine it all. I mean, there's not many all-around players that can play as many positions as him in the country. And I think you're seeing that by where he's showing up on draft boards and the amount of interest all the NBA teams are giving him, asking about him. So he's been a joy to coach. He's, tough kid from Green Bay, Wisconsin. There hasn't been too many big-time basketball players come out of Green Bay, so it would be pretty cool to see him succeed. And I think it's been pretty cool to watch him his freshman year come along the way he's come along.
What's the biggest difference stylistically in the offense, pace-wise, without Aiden? And then have you noticed any difference in the way LeBaron attacks and plays basketball without Aiden on the court? Aiden didn't miss too many games, so go back to when he missed, and it wasn't many. We're not really going to change the way we play. We had all the injuries all year, and there wasn't one time when we walked into a game and said, we're going to try to play a little slower this game, or we're going to really concentrate on throwing it inside this game because we're missing Reitzel or Philon or Holloway we kind of play the way we play. Now, different teams have different coverages in the pick and roll, and different teams have different strengths back. Like
to me, we're not changing the way we play based on who we have or don't have. We're going to change how we attack different coverages based on the way the team, like, we're playing. So, what is Hofstra doing pick and roll? Where are Hofstra's better defenders at? Where is Hofstra's strengths and weaknesses at? So there hasn't been any change at all, to be honest with you, other than we just have one less guy out there in practice. We're going to play the way we play. We're going to attack the way we attack, and I think it's been pretty good for us most of the year.
Last question, back of the room.
Coach, this is a little off topic and a little lighthearted, but what have you just thought of the way that Brady has quickly handled the challenges this season?
Yeah, so Brady Goka started with us as a manager, was really good. We've got an army of managers, a bunch of kids willing to serve the program. It's great having them in. Some are just there to be a part of the basketball program. Some are there to find their way up in the coaching world. He was one that we knew came back from my connections in Michigan. He's from Michigan, close to Saginaw. Him and Preston have a little debate because Brady's not, he claims Saginaw, but it's really not Saginaw. It's like out in the country by Saginaw. So he came from up my connections in Michigan. He came down as a manager. Then he became a grad assistant, kind of migrated towards the video room, really got into the coaching part. So this is the first year you've got replays in college, so we gave it to our video coordinator. He should better be good with video. That's why he's the video coordinator. So I think he's been pretty good. I think, honestly, I think Brady's been good. I think it's been more everybody in college basketball figuring out appeals, challenges, because we appealed some plays that one game you'd win on that appeal, the next game it's a more egregious flagrant one than this one, and all of a sudden you don't win it, lost our challenge for the rest of the game. They called a goaltend against us that was incorrectly called in the last 2 minutes, and I need to be better aware of the rules, as do the referees, but the refs are supposed to go review that in the last 2 minutes, and I was about ready to kill Brady because we didn't have our challenge left, and I couldn't review it, but it actually was supposed to be the referees that review it in the last 2 minutes. So, look, Brady's been great with it. He's quick. He's smart. He gets a little help from Adam Bowman over there. Brian Adams, our one assistant, that runs the defense, sent out we've got a coaches and GA's kind of group chatty. There was another program that their challenge crew behind had some, I think Brian Adams' direct term was Dorkapalooza over there with all these cool handshakes. I said, Brady, we're going to get like this in our cool handshake when we. I said, just don't try to do no Dorkapalooza handshake with me after we win an appeal. So we'll try to win the appeals. We'll try to use it correctly. We'll use it to our advantage when we can. I think Brady and Adam and our whole video crew's done a pretty good job with it, but we're all still trying to figure it out here this year.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys.
Iowa student athletes will be up next at 1:20.
There's more to Fox 54 Plus with the Locked On Podcast Network. From the Tide to the Tigers, from college teams to pro, the Locked On Podcast Network gives you insights and analysis you just can't find anywhere else.
These kids, they want to play.
But I don't think so. I think it was Chad Baker-Mazzara.
Locked On Sports, streaming every day of the week and right here on Fox 54 Plus.